Hello learners, today we are discussing about methods and strategies of teaching writing skill. After getting this topic, you will be able to understand what is writing, importance of writing, educational aspect of writing, stages of teaching writing skills, and methods and techniques of teaching writing. Now we will discuss about the origin of writing. According to what is given in dictionaries, writing refers to the act of making symbols and marks on a surface which can be understood by another person. Although this definition is straightforward, it ignores the hints involved in our everyday use of the term. For example, the definition makes no reference to the important link between language and writing and say a person drawing a picture. The picture is also made on a surface and may often be understood by many other persons, but we don't call it writing. It is not very clear when human language actually developed. Perhaps the organs we need to speak evolved more than 1.5 million years ago. It is a dark area and there are many hypotheses about it. Yet it is estimated that spoken language arose around 1 million years ago, while written language came into being around 5,000 years ago. Broadly, written language came into existence as communities became increasingly larger over a period of time. The interactions among the members of the community and those with members of other communities multiplied, and it became necessary to keep records of various transactions, particularly those involving land, revenue, and trade, etc. According to Jules Renaud, writing is the best way to talk without being interrupted. Means whatever you write, there is no one to make any type of interruption. According to Cervantes, the pen is the tongue of mind. Undoubtedly, whatever comes in our mind, that we pen down. Next, what is writing? Writing can be said to be the act of forming the symbols, making mark on flat surface of some kind. Writing is a process where symbols have to be arranged according to a certain conventions to form words and words have to be arranged to form sentences. Writing involves encoding of a message of some kind. That is, we translate our thoughts into language according to Byron 1988. Definition of writing according to the Noonan, writing our physical and mental act. It's about discovering ideas, thinking about how to communicate, develop them into statements and paragraphs that will be comprehensible to a reader. Writing has dual purpose to express and impress. Writers must select the most advantageous medium for their writing. Each type has a different level of difficulty which determined by its objectives. Writing is a process and also a product. The writer creates, plans, writes, revises, edits, and publishes. The audience reads a product. In words of Bacon, reading makes a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. What he means is that writing is a useful means of organizing thoughts and giving it a precision. Writing is a medium used to express what has been spoken. It does not represent a new language but simply a way of representing the same language. Importance of writing. Written communication is an essential element of expression. The ability to articulate oneself through the written word provides one with the opportunity to share their knowledge in a meaningful and effective way. Now, importance of writing from an educational perspective. Developing written skill will enable students to learn how to compose ideas, organize thoughts and arguments, support key points, and share information. Acquiring these skills will also prepare students for their future academic and professional endeavors. Learning to write is a key aspect of everyday life. Writing facilitates reflection, expression, and enables individuals to compose their thoughts, therefore providing us with the framework for one of the most prominent method of daily communication. In an electronic world where verbal communication has become less frequently used, learning to write a cohesive, structured manner allows individuals to convey their thoughts effectively. Writing provides us with catharsis and a sense of accomplishment. Completing and feeling good about a piece of writing that a student has worked on promotes confidence, and this is an essential element to personal productivity in all facets of education. When a student sees a piece of work that they have successfully completed, this leads to positive emotions. We work best when we are happy and feel positive about our achievements. This leads us to continue on a path of success. The ability to compose critical thought through written articulation allows those who best process information in a visual manner to conceptualize information. There are many different types of learners in word, for example, tactile, auditory, and visual. The latter of which requires students and individuals to succeed when processing information visually. Therefore, it is essential to accommodate the many learners in the classroom. And learning to write not only accommodates visual learners but also allows students who struggle in this area to develop their ability to conceive information in a visual manner. Now we are discussing the aspects of writing skill. Firstly, syntax, the arrangement of words and phrases to create well formed sentences in a language. Second is content, it means relevance, clarity, originality, and logic in what has been written. Third one is grammar, means rules for verbs, agreement, articles, adjectives, etc. The writing process means getting ideas, getting started writing drafts, revising, etc. Next is mechanics. It includes handwriting, spellings, punctuation, etc. Audience means the readers. Organization, the process of making plans and arranging for something. Next is word choice, refers to a writer's selection of words as determined by a number of factors including meaning, specificity, level of diction, tone and audience. Last is the purpose, the reason for writing. Now we are discussing the stages of teaching writing. The first one is controlled writing. To teach the mechanics of writing accuracy and readiness for further writing activities. It is controlled completely by teachers. Controlled writing activities are fundamental to teaching writing to children. For example, handwriting, copying, dictation, and spelling. Next is guided writing. It is an extension of controlled writing to provide graded guidance in vocabulary and structures to help the students to avoid mistakes. For example, a model with the directions for rewriting topics provided by teacher. Last one is free writing, to offer freedom to write original content using own language. It is the practice of writing down thoughts, all your thoughts without stopping and without any of the usual rules for writing. Now we will discuss the techniques helpful in teaching writing at the early stage. First one is teaching of Training of penmanship. Penmanship is the technique of writing with the hand using a writing instrument. Today, this is the most commonly done with the pen or pencil. The various generic and formal historical styles of writing are called hands, while an individual style of penmanship is referred to as handwriting. Handwriting requires the motor coordination of multiple joints in the hand, wrist, elbow, and shoulder to form letters and to arrange them on the page. Holding the pen and guiding it across paper depend mostly upon sensory information from skin, joints, and muscles of the hand, and this adjusts movement to change in the friction between pen and paper. With practice and familiarity, handwriting becomes highly automated using motor programs stored in motor memory. Compared to other complex motor skills, handwriting is far less dependent on a moment to moment visual guidance. The movement should include drawing of lines of various lengths and directions, half circles, loops, etc. Next technique is letter formation. First, we remember that students also need to identify letters in order to form letters. There are four components of letter recognition. First one is letter recognition means the ability to recognize the shape and size of the letter. Second is letter naming means recognizing that the shape of the letter is associated with a letter name. Third one is letter sound knowledge means determining what sound corresponds to the shape or name of the letter. Last one is letter writing means the ability to write the letter with a pen in accordance with its shape and direction. While teaching letter formation, the teacher should take capital letters first. That's because the visual form of the capital letter is more distinct. Take a look at this row of capital letters. The only letter that could be flipped and mistaken by another letter are M and W. Now take a look at this row of lowercase letters. In this, there are several pairs of letters that could be flipped. That's why letter writing should be started with uppercase letters and very easy to make by the students. Teach them the letters one by one. Make students see each and every alphabet in different shapes and sizes. Get them acquainted with the sound of each alphabet. Next is with the help of flashcards. Flashcards are really handy resource to have and can be useful at every stage of the class. They are a great way to present, practice and recycle alphabets. Flashcard is a card bearing information as alphabet or number on either or both sides used in classroom drills. Flashcards are an excellent learning and teaching tool, especially when introducing new chapter or letters. Use of flashcard is one of the most adaptable approaches to both beginners and adults. They are the best used for studying, learning, drilling, engaging activities, etc. Flashcards work well because they help you not only memorize facts but to process and store the information over the long term. So you can say that your brain can more easily retain the information because when you use flashcard your brain is triggered to use the learning skills. Flashcards are one of the best effective in teaching writing. It is adaptable and beneficial to various age groups. Next is use of blackboard. The blackboard or whiteboard is arguably the most important teaching aid available in the classroom. It is the most readily available writing surface. The use of chalk and talk with any curriculum continues to be a very effective method of teaching. Blackboard is a visual tool that offers a variety of functions to a teacher. Teacher draw with color, symbols, lines, stars, numbers and alphabets on the blackboard and ask the students to observe it carefully and copy it in their notebooks. This technique has a double effect. First, students have differing learning styles. Some students learn through observation, while others learn from both observation reinforced by listening. Class participated at the blackboard is a form of active learning. This technique keeps students alert and involved in his or her own learning. Next is by using substitution table. A substitution table is when a teacher provides a table giving model sentence with a range of choices for learners to select from using a set pattern. It is a very useful resource which extends the speaking and writing skill of learners. In substitution table, a word, phrase, idioms or vocabulary items may be used as tool. The words of a model sentence are constituted for by other words. The substitution words are of the same grammatical family in which the model sentence is drawn. The components must be simple so that the people can easily understand them. The teacher prepare a substitution table on the blackboard or on a chart. He makes them understand how they have to consult it for speaking or writing purpose. Now we will discuss the methods of teaching writing. There are following methods of teaching writing. First one is kindergarten method, then tracing method, next is free imitation method or last is FG French method. Firstly, we discuss the kindergarten method. In this method, young children are exposed to a range of activities that they may not have encountered before. Kindergarten method encouraged the student to learn at their own pace. This method of teaching is nurturing and supportive rather than competitive. Children learn through fun and engaging activities like kindergarten box is used to develop writing skills among the students. In this box, there are pieces of wood or plastic. By joining these pieces, the letters of English alphabets can be formed. It helps the students to develop their cognitive skill, motor skill, and social skills. Now, the merits and demerits of the kindergarten method. Kindergarten method is a playway method. It develops a strong sense of identity because it provides independent opportunity to explore the feelings. Easy and interesting method. Suitable for beginners. Demerits suitable for only the small children of primary classes. Next method is tracing method. In this method of teaching writing, the student tries to make movement over the printed and written letters with a pen or pencil in his hand. Teacher writes letters in the notebook of the students and asks them to move their pencil or pen over these written letters. Exercise books are also available for tracing writing. Now we discuss the merits and demerits of tracing method. This method encourages the student for correct learning. It stresses on the learning by imitating. There is no room for wrong learning. Montessori has also recommended this method. Demerits of tracing method. First one is it discourages the imagination of students and hinders the development of free writing. Lastly, does not handle properly the individual differences. Next, free imitation method. It is considered as a natural way of learning. When a learner develops a foundation of simple writing skills, then those skills are combined into more complex skills. In this method, imitation of simple skills taught first, then these imitations are combined to teach more sophisticated advanced skills. Means the students copy the model letters written by teacher on the blackboard or in notebooks. Students imitate the model letters with the help of their own intelligence and imaginations. Now we discuss the merits and demerits of the free imitation method. Firstly, we discuss the merits. It helps to build a foundation for new skills, means focusing on what the child already knows. Second one is makes learning quick and efficient, means no lengthy explanation, no written instructions. Next is develop the retention power of students, means students retain the topic for long time in their brain. Lastly, develop the imagination power of the students. Demerits, slow method of learning. Next, mistakes may occur in this method and teacher has to work hard to rectify these mistakes. Last method is FG French method. According to this method, French has suggested that beginners should not be taught writing letters straight away. Instead, they should be first taught to do some hand movements, either with fingers in a tray of sand or with chalk or on a brown paper. After doing hand movements, practice the following procedure should be adopted. First one is teaching strokes. Teaching strokes means people should be asked to learn to draw strokes. From the strokes, they should able to write words like capital A, E, F, H, I, etc. Means uppercase words. Next is teaching circles. People should be given some practice in drawing circles. After learning circles, people will able to write letters O, small p, small q, etc. Third one is teaching combining strokes and circles. Learning this able the students to write letters like small b, small d, capital B, etc. Next is teaching curves. Students are trained in making the curves. This should lead to the students to write alphabets like S, J, G, etc. Last is teaching combining strokes and curves. With the help of this method, lowercase alphabets should be taught easily. So dear learners, that's all for today. Thank you. Thank you very much.